I have been struggling with negativity getting in and coming at me from those close to me since I announced my pregnancy. I want to just stay in love and faith. Is this really my own fears reflected back at me?
We have to begin with the opening of that question, which says, I am struggling, and understand that the egoic identity that you ascribe to yourself is, for lack of a better description, what your body hears. If you say, I am struggling with, then your entire mind, body, spirit complex gets into alignment with the energy of that truth. And so then it behooves one to change the perspective of that truth. And it can be changed to any perspective that is more desirable. Instead of saying, I am struggling with people, you could instead say, I am surrounded by people who love me. I am surrounded by people who care for me. They express it very differently than I do, but I do understand the intention is love. I appreciate having love in my life, and I appreciate that although I may like for them to describe it and to communicate it differently, I am grateful. I am grateful. I am appreciative. Saying that sentence resonates a very different truth than I am struggling, you see. And so these are the choice points that come up with any difficulty that anyone may be experiencing at any time with any challenge. Change the perspective of the thought form itself. Although I would like the people around me to communicate it differently, I am grateful that so many love me. I am grateful and appreciative that so many people in my world want to let me know that they love me, even if this is the only way they know how to do so. In that way, you transform the energies of annoyance and struggle, which are now a part of your neurons in your body. You have transformed struggle and annoyance and disappointment into the fields of appreciation and gratitude just by changing the thought. You see, it is the meaning that you give it that will continue the experiences. If you say, I am struggling, that will be your truth. And I say that very non-judgmentally, for sometimes it is necessary to experience something before coming to a moment when one is in readiness then to release an old truth and embrace a new one, to be able to make the decision to choose a different belief about any subject in your life. Then those are very powerful words that the body is now containing the memory of that truth. I am struggling is not a truth that you would want ingrained into your neurons, because you are creating the hologram of your experiences then. And oftentimes, what I am talking about are considered minor tweaks to your thought systems, then, your belief structures. You are only struggling if you believe you are struggling, or you are having moments of gratitude and appreciation for what else it could be that is outside the meaning of how you're taking it in the moment that has you believing that you're struggling. So let us look at the struggle. You are struggling, in essence, to maintain a positive polarity because the communications themselves are being received in a way that appears negative. And so you feel there is this dynamic struggle between the dualistic energies of positive and negative, and you're feeling the pull only because you are not able to see that the interactions, the conversations, the contributions by others might be from a place of love. They just have not moved into a field where they're able to articulate it in a different way, which is completely acceptable because those people who are contributing the appearance, and I say the appearance because each human on the planet is also connected to the one consciousness, just as you are. Each human is also the beneficiary of having the creational energy of the universe at its beck and call, at your fingertips. Then, if that is true about yourself and you believe that, then you can believe that it is true about everyone else you encounter. If that is true, and it is of everyone else that you encounter, although each one is having their own very unique experiences, and they are each creating their lives and their experiences within their lives very uniquely, then they are still portions of the one consciousness from which all comes. And if you're able to see them that way, then you're able to understand that the most powerful creational force in the universe is what you call unconditional love. And if that is what is fueling their life, then they too are unconditional love. So you can choose, you can decide that when you're having a conversation that is less than pleasing, to recall first who they really are. In reminding yourself while you're having an unpleasant conversation of who they really are, you reconnect with that understanding of who you really are. And then you're able to extend the patience necessary to shift your perspective from the feeling of struggling to the feeling of gratitude and appreciation. It is entirely possible, then, you can allow your minds to conceive that the experience that you're having is only one view of that experience, and there are other ways to view it. And depending upon the way that you prefer to view it, will depend upon the meaning that you give it, which is how you're able to move out of the concepts that you are struggling into the concepts that you are appreciative. And once you can move yourself there, then you can shift your perspective and realize how wonderful your life is. Now the conversation itself that was initially annoying has evaporated into another distant reality that is no longer your present, for you have left that reality in that moment. And now you're in a reality where you can realize how wonderful it is to be loved by so many. That is a long leap from the initial idea, I am struggling, to go from I am struggling, but you see the series of shifts in the perspectives by being able to evaluate the meanings that you're giving it, which is creating the emotional response in that moment, which is translating into the neurons of your body by gently moving yourself away from that belief that you are struggling, by being able to see the others as who they really are first, reconnecting that truth with who you really are, and then moving into appreciation is what allows you to move into exalted joy at the realization that you are loved by so many people. Now, those are gradations of energy movements that I just described in a way that humans are able to understand the movements of their thoughts then.